Alright. So I just wanted to share something to illustrate how close this awakening thing is. And how, like I've been saying a lot recently, it really is a stopping of something rather than a going to get something. And as I always say, it's already here. You already know it, or it already knows itself. So I remember when I first got into meditation, when I first tried meditation, I had a few bits of material on Buddhism. I had some books on Zen, and I sat to meditate. Because I read that was important. So my understanding of meditation was being present and not thinking. So my approach led to frustration. I guess that was the beginning of inquiry. But I noticed something about when I sat down to meditate, that there were two different types of meditation. It seemed to me at the time that there were two different types that were quite distinct. So I noticed that I could sit being aware of myself. So there was a self-consciousness, self-awareness that felt very kind of alert and awake, but it also felt a lot like me. What I noticed as well was there was another type that I just intuitively tuned into when I tried meditation, and that was an awareness of, or a direct experience of, what appeared to me to be the environment, or the sensory experience. And I noticed that the two of these could overlap. So this led to a bit of confusion as well, because I noticed that there could be a kind of phasing in and out of the two, and I couldn't find any answers on it. I wanted to read up and do a bit of study and get some clarification on what this was that I'd noticed, but I couldn't find any answers. So I give an interpretation now of what that was, or what that is. You hear people talk about the sense of I am, or the I, or the self, the capital S, as in the most fundamental self-awareness, the most fundamental awareness that is the most primary sense of self, or sense of being something in this experience, separate from it, subtly. I guess you could call that like the the eternal witness or the watcher. But it's just interesting, this just occurred to me when talking to someone recently, that the very first times I sat down to meditate, this became apparent. And it was something that I intuited, I felt into, and then I complicated things by thinking that I had to figure this out in the objective sense, learn about it, and then follow the instructions to figure out which was which is the type of meditation I should be doing. And of course that approach is this or that. It lacks nuance, it lacks the trust and experience and the intuition that is very important. But it also highlights a very fundamental duality, a very fundamental distinction or separation that came into experience, or there was an awareness or clarity of that distinction in experience. It was just naturally there. And didn't require any shift in identity to access, so to speak. And it kind of highlights how we can complicate this for ourselves by thinking that we're going to receive a set of instructions that we can follow, and that's going to keep us right in this. Because really we have all the answers, so to speak. We are what we're looking for, so you can trust your experience, trust your intuition. And there's no rule book. Interestingly, at the time I was reading a Zen book called Beginner's Mind. And it was particularly, or specifically around what I'm talking about here, the natural, most unrefined, basic and simple state of beingness. Before all the additions and before all the segmentations. But even in reading that message, there was still this conceptual fixation that this was a goal, this is something I had to get right, this was something I had to do properly to receive the benefits or win the fruition. So let me know your own experience, and I'll talk to you next time.